In today's video, we're gonna be diving into the deep end. Literally, we're gonna be talking about butt stuff. Now, there is so much to cover about this topic: the do's, the don'ts, the safety, the emotions, the fears, the techniques. But in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the major misconceptions about butt play, especially the ones fueled by mainstream media. Now, if you've been thinking about trying it, you wanna do something new in the new year, and most of the information you have is what you've gotten from mainstream media and certain websites, then buckle up, you are in for a ride. Let's talk about what porn gets wrong and how to approach butt stuff with the right information. Hello, everybody. My name is Ali. I am a sex educator in training, and on this platform, I like to have casual conversations about sex, relationships, and other fun stuff. Before we get into the educational part, I want to tell you a little story about my first time with butt play. Now, this happened a little over 10 years ago with my second long-term boyfriend, and up to this point, I haven't really experimented with anal play. It's not really something I thought about, but I was kind of indifferent about it. I said to myself, if I'm with someone who wants to try it and I trust them and so on, like, sure, why not? I am down to play. At this point, we had been seeing each other for a couple of months. So we were still in that honeymoon phase where we were just getting it on all the time. And one morning, yes, morning, if you know where I'm going with this, we were fooling around and he said, want to do it from behind? And I said, sure, why not? One, it was the morning, like I said, hadn't went to the bathroom yet. Two, we had no lube, so we used spit. Also, not great. So I turned around and he started going a little bit slowly. At least there was that, there's a lot of communication, like, does this feel okay? Yes, you can go more, and so on. And it was painful, but I wouldn't say it was so painful to the point where I was like, no, you need to stop. So, eventually he got in there and we did it. And again, I don't feel like I really enjoyed it that much, but not to the point where I was like, hey, this is awful, I'm in pain, you have to stop kind of thing. I'm pretty sure I put on a hell of a performance for him. Then we finished and there was a big surprise waiting for us. And you can probably imagine what that already was, having been the morning and not having went to the bathroom yet. There was poop everywhere. Sorry if this is TMI, but this is reality. And it never occurred to me, that having anal sex in the morning before going to the bathroom was probably not the best idea. And I was so embarrassed. But to his credit, he laughed it off and he made me feel super comfortable about it and said, like, it's normal, this happens, like, I don't care, and so on. But looking back, it really made me realize just how much preparation and education we were both lacking in order to make that experience, that first experience, really, really great and special and not awkward. So fast forward to now, I've definitely engaged in butt play with my current partner, not so often, but often enough. And I still can't say that it's my favorite thing. It's not super dreadful, but I feel like I do it more because it pleases him. And I definitely get off seeing him pleased. So like I get turned on in that way. But I feel like I haven't really given myself enough time to explore that area and really figure out how I get pleasure from there. And even if I do get pleasure, you know what I mean? So recently I decided to change that, and I've set myself some pleasure goals for the new year, which includes experimenting with some toys that I specifically bought to play with that area of my body. So I can learn about it and what feels good without pressure of a partner. And let me tell you, it's been pretty good so far. Speaking of trying new things for the new year, the sponsor of today's video is Beducated. Probably one of the best online sexual wellness platforms you can ask for. They offer video courses on topics like anal play, yoni massage, lingam massage, ecstatic sex, guided masturbation, and their video tutorials are unlike any you have ever seen. They are detailed, they are graphic, super graphic, with real people in real situations, showing you exactly what to do with close-ups and everything. And they are incredibly helpful for learning how to make new sexual experiences incredible and safe. So if you're ready to prioritize pleasure in 2025, Beducated is offering you, wait for it, 60% off their yearly membership. That's actually an additional 10% off of what they are currently offering by using my code Imperiali. You can see it below. Plus, this is the best part, they have a 24-hour free trial. So you can browse the library, for free for 24 hours. And they also offer a 14-day money-back guarantee. So there's absolutely no risk of trying it out. So you can find all those details in the description below this video. Again, use my code Imperiale and start your new pleasure journey for 2025 today. All right, let's circle back to porn now and discuss why it is a terrible teacher for butt stuff. A Beducated course I actually followed about anal play did a study and shared fascinating research about how porn misrepresents anal play, and it hit home so much for me and my first experience. So number one, you don't actually see any preparation. So when you're watching porn, everything looks spontaneous and effortless. All you see is the D going in the hole, no problem whatsoever. But in real life, prep is essential, and you know they are doing that behind the scenes. So in my first experience, zero prep. Big mistake. Using spit as lube, not ideal at all. Silicone lube will be your best friend. And if you're not sure how much to use more. Use the whole bottle. Lube is your best friend when it comes to anal. And most people need a lot of preparation before, not just physical preparation, which can take the form of toys, a lot of foreplay techniques to help, relax the body to get ready to receive, but communication as well. Checking in with your partner, asking them how they feel, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, and so on. Oh yes, and obviously let's not forget about consent. That's important too. All right, number two. You don't see any issues come up or problems, nothing at all. Let's be real, poop happens. No one ever tells you about that. You never see that in porn. Well, maybe you do in some videos, but that's for like a specific niche. Or, talking about other things like pain and tears and so on, which are super common. I mean, after we played for the first time, I was constipated for a while. I didn't know that was gonna happen to me. So yeah, it affected my bowel movements for a few days, and I was totally uneducated and unaware that that was something that was gonna happen. Number three, dangerous techniques are glorified. For example, in mainstream media, you always see anal to vaginal penetration. Take it out from one hole, you put it in another, and you just keep swapping. But in reality, that is super dangerous. You're supposed to switch condoms in between, wash in between. There are so many precautions that you need to take in order to do this properly and safely in order to prevent spreading bacteria. And in reality, penetration anally can take a lot of time and requires a lot of lube, and you don't see that at all in porn. They skip these crucial steps, or at least they do in what you see, and so did I. You need an incredible amount of lube to make this go as smoothly as possible. Thank God I didn't get hurt and that I was with someone that I trusted, but it could have been a lot worse. And finally, number four, it looks like the actors are enjoying anal sex all the time. In reality, this isn't the case. Speaking for myself and most women around me, we enjoy anal sex some of the time, not all the time. I have yet to meet someone in my surroundings that is like gung-ho for anal sex all the time. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It really depends on the situation. There was actually a study done in 2014 investigating women's perceptions about butt play and why they engage in it. So these reasons ranged from women being under the influence, needing to get high in order to be open to this experience. Another reason was wanting to please a partner. Of course, there was a subset that did it for personal desire. Other reasons were to avoid vaginal penetration because of menstruation or not wanting to get pregnant. Transactional, so I'll engage with butt play for money or for drugs or whatever. And then, of course, their final reason was lack of consent or being coerced into doing so. And for me, my first time wasn't that memorable, to be honest. Like I said, I was kind of neutral about it. It hurt a little bit, but not too much for me to stop. I did it mostly because I was a bit curious, of course, and he really wanted to try it. But nowadays, I feel like I do it more so because my partner finds a lot of pleasure in it, and I don't mind to give him pleasure because it doesn't pain me that much. But I feel like there is still so much to explore for myself in order to make it a much better experience for me. Which brings me to do your research, and educate yourself. I feel like my experience is probably so similar to so many people out there and not at all what porn portrays. That's why education is so important, because it can actually be a lot of fun. That's why platforms like Beducated can teach you how to prepare, communicate, and create pleasure for yourself and your partners. A recent 2024 study done by the platform found that despite the sexual revolution and the growing embrace of sex positivity, many of us are still dissatisfied with our sex lives, and how dating nowadays, especially online, is more challenging than ever. And study reveals that Gen Z is actually engaging in less sex. And Beducated surveys reflected similar sentiments. Fewer than half of participants reported feeling mostly or very satisfied with their sex lives, with only 45% rating their happiness at a 4 or a 5 on the satisfaction scale. So that being said, let's make 2025 the greatest year for pleasure, exploration, and sex. And remember, you can use my code Imperiali to get 60% off Beducated's yearly annual subscription membership, which gives you access to over 100 incredible video tutorials. And remember, you get 24 hours of free access by clicking on the link. So check that out below this video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Je vous aime. Bye.